In this video, we are going to work on changing between grams and kilograms. And when we do that, that's called converting. And we're going to use the context of Chinese New Year to have a little story to do that. Chinese New Year is a holiday that is celebrated sometime in January or February in Asian countries like China and Vietnam and Korea. And they use a lunar calendar instead of a solar calendar. So their New Year's date changes depending on the moon phases. And we recently had Chinese New Year in February. So one of the desserts that might be popular during Chinese New Year are these walnut cookies. And I looked up a recipe for walnut cookies and I noticed something interesting. They were, the measurements were given in grams instead of cups or ounces. And I had these bags at home and I noticed this bag of flour had 10 kilograms written on it. And this bag of sugar was also written in kilograms. And I needed to figure out, do I have enough flour? And so in order to do that, I'm going to change kilograms into measurements of grams. So let's take a look. I have this bag of flour is 10 kilograms, which by the way is a really big bag of flour. And we know this fact to be true from what we learned earlier, that 1 kilogram has the same mass as 1,000 grams, like one textbook would be equal to about 1,000 paper clips. So in order to go from kilograms into grams, turn it into a number of grams, I might draw a picture. I might say, I'm going to let a circle like this represent 1 kilogram. So I'm going to draw out all 10 kilograms. Okay. And I know each one of those is 1 kilogram, but I know each one of those is worth 1,000 grams. So I'm going to show that this is 1,000 grams and this is 1,000 grams all the way to the end. And then if I counted those by thousands to count the number of grams, it would look like this: 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. So each one of those is worth 1,000 grams. Altogether, it would be worth 10,000 grams. So if I checked back on my recipe, I definitely have enough. I only needed 250 grams of flour. So I definitely have enough there. So let's try this 1 8/10 kilograms. And to do that, I could draw a picture, definitely, but I'm going to also think about how we get from kilograms to grams. And we have the measurements written up here. If I want to go from kilograms to grams, I see that it's 1,000 times bigger. So if I multiply the number of kilograms times 1,000, I'll get the number of grams. So I can do that here. I can take my 1 8/10 kilograms, and in order to go to grams, I can multiply it by 1,000. And so I could use my calculator if I wanted to. So 1 8/10 times 1,000, and I get 1,800 grams. So let's record that here. Or another way to see that is to think about it like shifting the place values. When you multiply by 1,000, you shift the place values 3 times, and you shift them to the left to make it bigger. So multiplying it by 1,000 with 3 times, moving it up the place value chart, 1, 2, 3 times, that would give us 1,800 grams. So keep in mind when you're going from kilograms to grams, we're going to multiply by 1,000. So then we're going to pretend that I made bunches of walnut cookies for Lunar New Year's, and I wanted to ship them to some of my friends and family because Lunar New Year is really important time to spend with our family. So I ended up measuring them on a scale because when you ship something, you have to know how much the mass of it. And so I found these 2 measurements. The smaller box had a mass of 3,000 grams, and the bigger box had a mass of 7,200 grams. But when I went to enter that on the internet to see how much it would cost to ship, they measured in kilograms. So we need to change these masses into kilograms in order to ship them. So I've written them out here. And again, for this 3,000 grams going to kilograms, I might draw a picture, and I might think about how each one, I could think about there's a group of 1,000 grams and another group of 1,000 grams and another group of 1,000 grams. Each group of 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. That's a kilogram and that's a kilogram. And we can see all together that we have 3 kilograms. And before, when we moved from kilograms to grams, we multiplied by 1,000. If you want to go the other direction, to go from grams to kilograms, you can divide by 1,000. So to go from here to here, I could divide by 1,000. You can kind of see that there. So I'm going to do that step thinking here about 7,200 grams. To go to kilograms, I would want to divide by 1,000. So I'm going to pull up my calculator again. Oops. Get that out here. Here we go. And so I'm going to do 7,200 divided by 1,000, and we get 7 2/10 kilograms. So let's write that down in here, 7 2/10. And I can also think about, if I didn't want to pull out my calculator, I could think about shifting that number down the place value chart. So dividing by 1,000 is like moving it 3 times down the chart. 1, 2, 3 times down the chart to get 7 2/10 kilograms. And so those are the amounts that I would type in on the computer to see how much it would cost to ship it. And then finally, I want you to know that there's usually a lantern festival at the end of our Lunar New Year celebration where we release these lanterns. It's a beautiful sight. And we're going to pretend that there was a company who ships those, and these are the different masses of their common packages that they send. So sometimes a package has a mass of 2 kilograms or 3,000 kilograms or 3,000 grams, and they want to have the equivalent measurements in grams or kilograms going all the way across. So this column, the values in those would be equal, and equal here and equal here. So if I've got to fill in the rest of this chart, I think a good place to start is going from the kilograms to grams. That seems to be sort of the easier way to go. So remember, to go from kilograms to grams, we multiply by 1,000. So I would take the 2, multiply it by 1,000 to get 2,000. And then if I did that here, it would be 6,000. And 7 kilograms multiplied by 1,000 would be 7,000. So those are sort of the easier ones. And then maybe you're already seeing what it would look like to go from grams to kilograms. Remember, to go from grams to kilograms, we divide by 1,000. That number is going to get smaller. And so 3,000 divided by 1,000 is going to give us 3 total kilograms. 15,000 grams divided by 1,000 grams per kilogram is going to give us 15 total kilograms. So now someone could use this shipping chart to help them out as they were shipping lanterns. All right, you're going to practice now converting between grams and kilograms, and you've got this.